Graceful yet imposing is George Washington Bridge. Spanning the Hudson River from upper New York, it leads to the New Jersey shore and the pond. But New York is not only steel and stone, it is people too. Millions of beating hearts, lights and shadows, night and day. A strange cosmopolitan paradox. A city that never sleeps. It's a wonder city.
I call Harlem home and I call Sweden home. So I have both places to call home.
For me, like wherever I have peace, I call it home. But definitely my country where I'm born and grow, where my family lives, so I call it home. But at the same time, I call myself like a universal citizen, not belong to one specific place.
Yeah, definitely where I grew up in Maryland is at home for me, though I left a long time ago. But where I feel comfortable is actually riding buses and taking public transportation. That's something I do in every country that I travel to really feel at ease and part of where I am.
Definitely, we start with where we came from. So our Nairobi, Kenya is home. But also, as long as you surrounded yourself with loving people, the people make it home.
I have two homes where I was born and raised, of course. It's Adana, Turkey. You can have the best kebab there. I'm not exaggerating. It's true. I mean, yes. Like, I mean, it's.
I believe you.
It's
I'm only laughing because it was so clear.
Yeah, it's very famous. Yeah, anyway. And I am also calling now New York, Northeast US is like kind of home because my wife is from here, so I just married, so I'm kind of living here too, so I have two homes. But yeah, my real home, I guess, is still my hometown though.
I'd say I'm a local to DC. I've lived there a decade. I decided to make my home there, and you know, that's a choice. It means when I'm advocating for my home community, it feels different from advocating for other places, and I do care about it, but at the same time, I spend a lot of time traveling, and everywhere I go, I kind of feel, you know, after a day or two, this could be home. You know, these people are so good. These people are so nice. So home is DC, even though I'm from New Jersey, but I like to think of everywhere as having potential for home.
I think when we travel, like when we stay for a longer time in a different place than our own country, so this is, I think, the human's nature that they get used to it. So I haven't experienced that, but as I'm hearing from a lot of people that, so they still have a different love and a sense of belonging to their own country, but if they have moved somewhere else and they have lived for a long time, so they say that this is now our home because we are used to here and we have made lots of memories. So I haven't been away for so long from Afghanistan, but maybe if I go somewhere and live for a long time, I would say I have two homes, but now I think I have one home, and that's Afghanistan.
But I think it's interesting, you were saying before that you're considered to be where your father is from, even though you've never been there because of the current situation, but you identify, like when someone says to you, where are you from, you say that place instead of Kabul, yeah?
Yeah, this is how in Afghanistan, so like, I don't know, maybe we are brought up with this mindset that whenever people asking me, even though I haven't been to the place where my father was born, and he was, I think, 5 or 6 years old that he moved to Kabul. Even he didn't spend lots of his years of living childhood in his place where he was born. But I think we have brought up with this mindset that when people ask me, I automatically say, so I'm from Wardak. Like even in my passport, so it's written that I'm born in Kabul.
Some places are so much easier to adapt to and call home. I guess if they're smaller, like I lived in Vientiane, Laos, which is a very small town, even though it's a capital, and I immediately felt at home there because I knew everybody. And it's when you start to get to know people, like I think you were saying, that you really feel at home. It's just knowing the people around you. And so New York, I've been here 7 years. I still don't consider myself a New Yorker or feel that it's home. It's a place that people come to, and I live and I love it, but it doesn't feel like home in the same way. But it seems like you feel that way.
I feel that way. As soon as I came to New York, I just mingled and I just felt it like I belong here.
I mean, in New York, what was special to me is that everyone is kind of not from here. You know, it's such a universal city. I mean, I don't know if it's cosmopolitan because there are so many inequalities, and those inequalities doesn't make you feel like it's really, really cosmopolitan city. But it's kind of gives you the, you know, there's so many different neighborhoods, diverse neighborhoods, and all of a sudden you might find yourself somewhere where you feel very comfortable here. And that's kind of, I felt when I first got here, I got here from Germany, where the treatment of Turkish people is not so great. So when I got here, it was, wow, people do not care about how I look like, you know? That was actually kind of a big improvement for me.
But that's beauty of America. I mean, it's United Nations. Everybody is from somewhere. Like nobody's from here. Actually, we all came here. So nobody can say, oh, you're from Turkey. I mean, it's different time. We came here, but we all came from somewhere. So that's what makes you like, oh, I belong here. Even though like you lived in Germany and you don't feel home. So it's totally different in America. That's what I fall in love with. Like we from somewhere, but still we one.
So sometimes I feel like home is where your heart takes you. It can be a person that you either get married to, it can be a person that, you know, a child that you've given birth to, it can be a friend that you hold dear to. And the person you love is at China. You go like, okay, you know what? It's okay, but let me just go to China. Or giving example with Ali, you know, from Turkey, and the wife is from US. And I'm sure he's like, you know, I mean, I'm used to Turkey, I've grown here, I know the place. You know, the movement and change makes it look like, okay, I don't know if I'll be home there. Because the person that he's dedicated to is the love, that becomes home.
But you met the wife here, right?
Yes.
So he was already feeling home here.
You have a thing with the US, I don't know, do you have like a treaty with them?
Yeah. It's just, that's how I feel about New York. You know, we're all from somewhere.